I rewatched Pepper Ann. Fun fact, the creator of Pepper Ann, Sue Rose, is also behind Angela Anaconda, and you would never guess it if you didn't know that going into it, because they are such different styles. The writing is still good on both. I do stand behind that. But Pepper Ann is much more... They're both slice of life shows. Pepper Ann's much more traditionally animated. It's Mr. Warburton, who created Codename Kids Next Door, was the character designer on Pepper Ann, which, of course, so it explains the styles. I wanted to respond to every single YouTube comment that said, this reminds me of Codename Kids Next Door. This is like Codename Kids Next Door. It's like, because the character designer created KND. It's like, so easy. It's just a quick Google search anyways. Well, that's my obsession talking. Anyway, Pepper Ann, I rewatched an episode where she's traumatized by a scary movie. And what makes it really funny is it's so clearly a parody of It. It's called Gutter Clowns, which, by the way, hilarious TV gag pun. So, I kind of want to see that actual movie. It's a fun phrase to say, Gutter Clowns. It sounds like a game I could play at an arcade. Anyways, I still find it very likable. It's very imaginative. Got a bit of a queer coding. There is something very genderqueer about Pepper Ann, which I personally really like. And because I remember her sister, Moose, I thought was a boy the entire time I was growing up, but then I heard she, and I didn't get it, but I thought, okay, then I went with it. It's like, okay, that character's a girl, fine. Pepper Ann herself has a queer coding too. There's a very, I don't know, it's something about the voice, the way she's animated. I could see her growing up to be part of the gay community because there's something, it's her personality too, because she's so determined to be cool, she is, but at the same time is also very true to who she is. And I think, I see her on a BuzzFeed characters who are totally queer lists. So I'd kind of like to see what the team has to say about that. I'm personally really into it because I think it's cool. It's different. You see a very distinct point of view there. It feels like there was a queer sensibility about the show. But I'm glad no one ever uses that as the butt of a joke like they do for He-Man. Interesting. I did watch He-Man too recently. And yeah, He-Man I don't think is gay enough, other than the fact that it's mostly shirtless dudes walking around. I do get where people are coming from, but I think it's more of, there might have been a lot of queer people working on the show rather than in the content, because in the episodes I've watched quite a bit of He-Man. I always found the good guys too, but I was more into the bad guys. Skeletor should have been the main character of that show. Anyways, I am diverging. Anyways, Pepper Ann, again, straightforward stories, but the way they're written, because you've seen these kinds of stories many times, that came out at a time where slice of life cartoons were really not as common. So that one and Doug were really the guy's point of view, the girl's point of view, both nerds, and they're good counterparts. I did like Pepper Ann more. I don't really remember too much of Doug. I think Pepper Ann had a bit more of an edge to it just because of the humor and the tone and really the point of view. Because it felt like there were some really interesting people who really knew how to twist a story behind Pepper Ann. And what I mean by that is, because you've seen stories many, many times. There's only a finite amount of stories, but it's the way you make the story your own that really makes it shine. And it felt like the team behind Pepper Ann, at least for my experience, I mean, not bashing on Doug, not bashing on the people working on it. Obviously, I have immense respect for all the showrunners out there because they're cool and it's a ton of work to put something together. Plus, most people in animation are really cool people. So if I criticize something, it's really just me as a fan talking, not as a professional. So, but the stories that you see told in Pepper Ann, it feels like the details and the point of view and the type of person telling that story makes it feel like you've seen something completely new. And even even then, I still see the same types of stories in modern cartoons, but there does seem to be a bit more of a twist. You can Adventure Time. It's a boy and his dog. But then you get deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you find, okay, this is what you're saying. I don't like it. I like that there's more variety in storytelling for animation, and I'm so happy to see that it's not just action shows. It's not just dude stories. It's not just chick stories. And I'm glad people seem to be taking animation more seriously, because there is so much you can do with the medium. There are so many different styles you can work with. So yes, those are my general thoughts. I diverged a bit, but animation's amazing.